Yo, 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 test, test. Always gotta test this stream. Okay, let's see. Testing. Welcome in. Jesus freak raiding me already with 2 people? What? I just got on. Hey, Jesus freak. What's the deal? Welcome. What's up, Sean? Thanks for coming in. Welcome to G-Funk Railroad. How you doing, Jesus freak? Welcome back over. Thanks for the party, bro. Right off the bat. Getting some love. That's good. I'm checking my mic. Hold on. Okay, good. The test is working. What's up, Black Christian Streams? Welcome over. I'm glad you're doing good, Jesus freak. What were you guys doing? What were you playing? What were you studying? What were you talking about? How's your Friday? I just hopped on. Good. Audio Bible. Nice. Audio Bible, that is. That's good. That's good. We're going to start, since people are already in here, we'll start with what we usually start with here on this channel. The Dale Audio Bible Podcast. Oh, cool. What were they talking about? What subject were they on? Okay, guys, this is where we start. This is traditional for Jesus would have done this every day, so we're going to do it. This is called the Shema. Why is it called the Shema? Right here. Shema. Shema is the first word of it. And they always, in the history of Israel, in the history of Judaism, they always do that. Hey, what's up? Thanks for following. Thanks for following Black Christian Streams. Yeah. Turbo. He's on that turbo, bro. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, yes. The Lord speaks. So this is Moses speaking to the people. Deuteronomy's one long sermon of Moses, basically. The governor of Judea and here began to take his brother Philip. Nice. Okay. A little history background. You see my history tag on this devotional. I'm always down for those history. So, Shema Yisrael. We'll say it in Hebrew. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta 8. Adonai Elohecha, bechol levavcha, uvechol nafeshcha, uvechol meodecha. And that means, listen, Israel, or hear. It's really hear, but listen is the implied, what they would have heard. Because just like you're talking to a child, you don't say, did you hear me? And they go, no, I heard you, I just didn't do it. I'm like, oh, they heard me. No, listen to me. Hear me and do it. Listen, Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. You must love, or you shall love, in other translations. I like this one. The NET is my favorite translation for Old Testament. It's probably one of the more accurate ones with Hebrew thought. You must love the Lord your God with your whole mind, which is your heart in the Hebrew, but the Hebrew heart means your volition, your will, your mind, your reasoning, your whole being, or your soul, because your soul is not just some ethereal spiritual part of you, it is your entire being, including your body, in Hebrew thought at least. And then all your strength, your meodecha. Meod means very. Tov meod, very good. And then you have meodecha, your veriness, your exceedingliness. And the rabbis would translate this as, you must love the Lord your God with all your whole mind, your heart, your prayer life, your whole being, your fasting, and all your strength, all your stuff. So what you give to the poor and the needy. So prayer, fasting, righteousness, or Jesus says, don't do your righteousness in front of other men. He's talking about giving to the poor. Don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. Left hand know what your right hand is doing, etc. Sorry, my dog's barking at people coming in. How about no? Hey, sit. Stop. Stop. You know who it is. Stop. Okay. Hey, baby. Yes, that's the Willow, giving us a good bark.
How's it going, man?
Good streaming.
What?
So good. So that's how we usually start the stream. Get a little mindfulness about what kind of the theme of life is here. How to love God. And just always like to point this out. This verb form right here, ve'ahavta, ve'ahavta. It's the and you shall love. Is this place love God? Leviticus 19. I almost said 19:11, but that's not it. Here you go. Leviticus 19:18. You must not take vengeance or bear grudge against the children of your people, talking about Israelites, but you must love your neighbor as yourself. Same verb. And then 19:20. Where are you? There we go. 1934. The foreigner, the stranger who resides among you must be to you like a native citizen among you. So like the Israelites, you should treat them. So you must love him. You must love, same verb. Must love him as yourself because you are foreigners in the land of Egypt. Those are the 3 times that verb form is used in the Old Testament. I think there might be one more, but it's the same love your God language. So if we want principles, get back to first principles. We're going to talk about love God, love neighbor, love stranger. Let me see. Did he get it back? Yay! He sent these back to me. Yay! Athens and Acts that Paul talks about how the borders of the countries and the populating of the earth are supposed to cause us to seek him. So I want to kind of go over this since we're all on stream together. We can get some ideas going on. This is a guy who emailed me out of, or Discord messaged me out of Love Clan, Jate's thing. He's not a Christian, but he's a historian, Christian studies historian. There we go. There's that link. And he's talking about Acts 17 and the question of, on the Mars Hill sermon in Acts 17, Paul talks about the borders of the countries and populating of the earth are supposed to cause us to seek him. I was wondering how that was supposed to cause us to seek him. I feel like I understand everything else. I went over it on stream. I want to hear, if you want to hear my thoughts in fuller context, he gave me a link to a VOD here. He starts with impiety and then goes on to Socrates and Paul's sermon on Mars Hill, 30 to 40 minutes. So that's kind of what I wanted to get to finally, because I haven't really looked into it for him yet. Acts 17. And if I can get the Michael Heiser teaching on it. This I guess I gotta go over here. Yeah, so Michael Heiser is an awesome scholar, and he has some good ideas about the implications of Acts. See, here's one of them. Acts 2. Sentinel Apologetics. Acts. Does he have an Acts 17? If you have an Acts 17, we'll listen to it. I don't think he has an Acts 17 yet. Acts 14. Acts 17? Paul, Athens. Anyway, yeah. Let's look what it says. Just to see if we can figure out something on the surface here. Paul in Berea, Paul in Athens. While Paul was waiting for them in Athens, his spirit was greatly upset because he saw the city was full of idols. Now, first of all, what are idols? Idols are man-made objects that people used to think other gods would dwell in, or that other gods would have some kind of identifying with. Mostly they'd say they would be in it. The worldview of Jews at the time, or especially of ancient Israelites, were A, people rebelled in Adam and Eve, right? Then God sent them throughout the earth to be fruitful and multiply. The creation mandate still was there. God was with all people so that they could go out into all the world and establish his glory throughout all the earth and steward the earth and take care of the earth and be his kind of markers on earth of his authority and sovereignty on earth. That's what humans are. That's what we always are supposed to be. That is our calling. That is our design. That is what God told us to do. To be his stewards on earth. Genesis 2:15. Genesis 2:15. And the Lord took the man, as in mankind. We're still in chapter 2. Woman has not been created yet, but technically it's mankind separated into man and female, is how we need to think about it in the Hebrew and theologically. God took the mankind, and placed him in the orchard in Eden, the garden in Eden, to care for it and maintain it. These words are literally in order to cultivate, avad, which is the same word we use to work or to serve. Obadiah. That's a word that means servant of Yah, servant of the Lord. Ovad, my servant. Avdi, Avdi, my servant, my servant, my servant, servant, servant. Every time you see servant that's where the root is here. Serve or protect, or sorry, serve or work. Because it's about work, it's about serving. And shamar, to keep, to protect. There's protect, to keep or protect. Hey, Eugene, what's up, brother? Welcome back in. I'm just kind of going over the creation mandate, why man was put in the garden in the first place, why mankind was put in the garden. To work or serve and to guard and protect the garden. Okay, creation mandate. So, from there, what happened? People went and they made the Tower of Babel. They decided we're not going to go through the earth. We're going to set up in one place. We're going to go against God's mandate to spread through the earth and be fruitful and multiply and serve and work the earth. We're going to serve and work ourselves. We're going to build up great names for ourselves. We're going to have that's what the Tower of Babel is. In Judaism and in ancient Israelite thought, that the fall was not the only thing that brought sin into the world. You can see that in different it's sins, rebellions. There's pluralism in the New Testament about what happened. It's not just eating of an apple. It's about the multiple chances they got, and also during Babel and before that even with. So here's the deal. Genesis 30 or Exodus 32 worldview, I believe is what it is. Where it says that when God basically gave over the nations, Moses said when God gave over the nations to other gods, essentially. That's kind of a biblical worldview there, is saying that God gave us chances and then he cut off the nations at Babel because of what they did. He cut them off. He said, okay, fine, you go off, and he gave them over to lesser divine beings that he created, but he kind of just let them have their reign there. So, when we're talking about why Israel was formed, it was so God could have his own nation, God could have his own people, and that he could be an example among all the nations of the earth and basically provide them with the true God to worship, even if they're worshiping true divine beings, just not God, if you know what I'm saying. It's not, so the worldview setup isn't, we have a bunch of fake gods that people are worshiping, and then we have a real God that Israel's worshiping. We're having a real God, the true creator, highest, most holy, the most high is what they call him all the time. Why? Because he's highest above all other divine beings, because he created everything. And then you have lesser divine beings that are kind of mingling with the nations and being worshipped and all these different things. That's where we're at in Acts 17. When Jesus died and was resurrected, that was basically a signal by God and a timing by God to take the nations back. Take them back from these kind of rebellious and evil divine beings called gods, even though they're not like the true God. But these idols, see, it says that he was upset, greatly upset in his spirit because he saw the city was full of idols. Not because he's like, oh, they're just worshiping things that don't exist, that they're actually worshiping divine beings in the form of these idols. So he was addressing the Jews and the God-fearing Gentiles in the synagogue, in the marketplace, every day, those who have happened to be there. Synagogue and marketplace. Also, some Epicurean and Stoic philosophers were conversing with him, and some were asking, what does this foolish babbler want to say? Others said he seems to be a proclaimer of foreign gods, right? Because they had their own set of gods they were worshiping, and now we have him saying more that they weren't familiar with, so it must be just another set of gods from another place. They said this because he was proclaiming the good news about Jesus and the resurrection. Why would Paul be declaring the good news of Jesus and the resurrection to people who are worshiping pagan idols? Not because this is the true God, worship the true God. It's because God wants to take these people back, take the nations back. The nations are now his to reclaim. Yeah, exactly, Eugene. Um, and those are the actual words in the Greek, I believe. Epikureon stoikon. Yep. um, for you are bringing some surprising things to our ears. May we know what this new teaching is that you're proclaiming, is what they're asking him. And the Areopagus, in the place where all the idols were. All the Athenian and foreigners who lived there used to spend their time in nothing else than telling and listening to something new. In other words, they love to hear about the new gods. They love to be like, oh, what does this God do? What does this God do? For we went around. Wait, Paul stood before it and said, Men of Athens, I see that you're very religious in all aspects. Observe that you are very religious. What is this religious? Because religious didn't exist, that word didn't exist back then, really. Superstitious. Reverencing God or gods, pious. Not necessarily religious, which is what we can equate to it, but still. I mean, you are very religious in all that. You're very, pious, superstitious. You got a lot of supernatural beliefs. For as I went around and observed closely your object of worship, I even found an altar with this inscription, to the unknown God. Therefore, what you worship without knowing it, this I proclaim to you. The God who made the world and everything in it. See, he's trying to, again, he's differentiating. You may have real divine beings you're worshiping, but they're not the ones who created everything. God created them. God who made the world and everything in it, who is Lord of heaven and earth, does not live in temples made by human hands. Now that seems a little contradictory because we've seen it in the Bible. God does live in a temple made by human hands, according to God's. Wait, but God isn't encapsulated in there only. God, even the Israelites knew if God's presence was there, he's still omnipresent. He's still throughout the world, like seeing and knowing everything. Everything in it, who is Lord of heaven and earth, does not live in temples made by human hands, nor is he served by human hands. In other words, these idols, they would literally feed them food because they thought they were feeding the god and keeping him sustained or giving him pleasure or whatever it was. Nor is he served by human hands, as if he needed anything, because he himself gives life and breath and everything to everyone. And everything to everyone. He's differentiating this God, who is the creator of all things, who gives not just the God of harvest, not just the God of the sun, not just the God of this, and all these compartmentalized, different powerful beings. This is the most powerful being, who controls life and breath and gives everything to everyone. And if these other divine entities, other gods can give you this, it's because God allows them to. It's because God's in charge of everything. That's his whole point here. For from one man he made every nation of the human race to inhabit the earth. This is the part he's talking about. This question that our friend in Discord has asked me. He said, from one man he made every nation of the human race to inhabit the entire earth, determining its set times and fixed limits of the places where they would live, so that they would search for God and perhaps grope around him and find him, though he's not far from any of us. And the next verse is a key, for in him we live and move about and exist, as even your own poet said, for we too are his offspring. So this guy asked me a question, and it totally makes sense. On Mars Hill, Paul talks about how the borders of countries and the populating of earth are supposed to cause us to seek him. I was wondering how that was supposed to cause us to seek him. Well, what's the background we just talked about? The first aspect. That God sent people throughout the earth in the creation mandate, go be fruitful, multiply. And then we have we have the rebellion before the flood, first of all, where commingling or intermingling with divine beings that come down and cause havoc with the order of things. That's its own cosmological worldview of angels coming down and having relations with humans, Nephilim, etc. That's all interesting. Or if you look at the book of Enoch and what they were thinking was happening, they were talking about these angels teaching humankind war and different technologies and all these different etc. Okay, let's just take that that's how they thought about this stuff, especially during in the time of Acts, because that's the stuff they were reading too. Moses says that God basically gave up the nations to these other gods. That the one true God said, okay, fine, you're a Tower of Babel, you disobeyed, we're going to cut off all the nations, and we'll put them in charge of other lesser divine beings that I created. We're going to put them in charge there. That's the worldview that I'm talking about. Because when God does that, he says, but Israel, Jacob, is my allotted proportion. He's going to make his own nation, and he's going to be an example throughout the world and do all these things and draw the nations back. Or go retrieve them eventually is what we're seeing in Acts. And these other gods, and that's Psalm 82, these other gods, they rebelled. They did things for their own glory. They have free will too, and basically God berides them for corruption and abuse of the stuff that God let them have in charge. And that's where we're at. Fixed boundaries. Why is he talking about fixed boundaries? Set times and fixed limits of the places where they would live. Every nation and human race inhabits the earth. He's talking about this worldview. These people were under the dominion and under the authority, in some ways, of other divine beings that were not the creator God, the Lord, right? And this is what it's saying. It's like because of that, because they would know the difference when the true God came around, they would search for that God and perhaps grope around, perhaps grasp on him somehow and find him. But he's not far from each of us. So I just like to, that's kind of a starting point for the point we're going for. So I really had a chat with the Eastern Orthodox priest today. I had quite a simple question, but he had very extensive and, of course, abstract and extensive. Can't complain, though. Good news from him. Jesus won't be sad if I praise him along Pentecostals or Baptists. Oh, no way! Jesus won't be sad as long as you're doing it in spirit and in truth. Spirit, relationship with God. Truth, Scripture. Truth is always Scripture, in Scripture. Pardon me. Let me see if I can get a good teaching. Um... There way to search yet. Let's see, it's the Areopagus. How can there not be any? I know he's talked about Athens before. Interesting. I don't know why he doesn't, because he talks about this in places I've heard him talk about it. Talk about these ideas of nations. If we look at it from a worldview that says God wanted to reclaim the nations and that each nation was allotted to certain beings that God eventually saw as corrupt and wanted to get them back from, it makes sense what he's saying right here. One man, every nation, determining the set times and fixed places so that they would search. So, let's see, is this the word? That they would seek him. Man, I wish I had my Acts commentary on me right now that's coming in the mail. Let's see if there's any commentaries on this. How come I don't know any of these names? Okay, let's see what Matthew Henry has to say. Verse 8. Verse 12. 14. Okay. A scholar that has acquaintance and is in love with the learning of the ancients would think that he should be very happy if it were Paul. If he were Paul, where Paul was now at Athens in the midst of the various sects of philosophers, and would have a great many curious questions to ask them. For the explication of the remains, we have the Athenian learning. But Paul, though bred as a scholar and an ingenious active man, does not make this any of his business in Athens. He has other work in mind. It is not improving of himself and the philosophy that he aims at. He has learned to call it a vain thing, and is above it. His business is, in God's name, to correct their disorders in religion and to turn them from the service of idols and of Satan in them to the service of the true living God in Christ. Aside here, when he says he's trying to turn them from idols, why? Because they literally had, Paul earlier in other places talks about how the idols are nothing. Wood and stone and metal, these idols, they mean nothing. They have no power. They have no life in them. But what Paul says is that the danger lies in what they are worshiping through the idol, and that there are certain divine beings that put themselves in these objects to be worshipped. That's kind of the essential thing that Paul talks about. So, we're in a foreign territory, in a foreign land, in Greece. We're not in Israel. We're not in the land. We're not, allotted in the allotted part that is to, the God of Israel. But God's taking it all back. So this is like spiritual warfare happening. He's going into these people's territory and saying, these have no power. And any power they do have, it's from the true God. So he was upset with these ideas of idols. But the power of Jesus' resurrection is what Paul is saying is breaking down all these barriers. That's why we're here. Turn them from the service of idols and of Satan in them, the enemy, and the idols and enemy, same kind of ideas, to the service of the true and living God. Here's the impression which the abominable ignorance and superstition of the Athenians made upon Paul's spirit. Observe. The account here, given of that city, it was a wholly given to idolatry. In other words, everybody was there. This agrees with the account which the heathen writers give of it, that there were more idols in Athens than there were in all of Greece, besides put together. And that they had twice as many sacred feasts as others had. Whatever strange gods were recommended to them, they admitted them and allowed them to have a temple and an altar. In other words, they're like, anybody who's got a god, come on in. So that they had almost as many gods as men as men facilius. Okay, well that's the Latin. And this city, after the empire became Christian, continued incurably addicted to idolatry, and all the pious edicts of the Christian emperor could not root it out. I wonder why. Maybe because those Christian emperors kind of grafted Christianity into idolatry in some ways. But till by the eruption of the Goths, that city is so particular in manner laid waste that there is now scarcely any remains of it. It is observable that there where humans learning most flourished, idolatry most abounded, and the most absurd and ridiculous idolatry which confirms that of the apostle, that when they professed themselves to be wise, they became fools. And in the business of religion, were all of the others the most vain in their imaginations. The world by wisdom knew not God. This is him doing more Paul's references of kind of what Paul probably was talking about in those verses. They might have reasoned against polytheism and idolatry, but it seems the greatest pretenders to reason were the greatest slaves to idols. So necessary was it to reestablish even of the natural religion that there should be a divine revelation, and that centering on Christ. The disturbance which the sight of this gave to Paul was not willing to appear publicly till Silas and Timothy came to him, that out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses the word might be established. But in the meantime, his spirit was stirred within him. He was filled with concern for the glory of God, which he saw given to idols, and with compassion to the souls of men, which he saw thus enslaved to the enemy, and led captive by him at his will. He beheld these transgressors. This is an older commentary just because of the way the guy talks, and was grieved. And horror took hold of him. He had a holy indignation at the heathen priests, and led the people such an endless trace of idolatry, and at their philosophers, that he knew better, and yet never said a word against it, but themselves went down the stream. He has a lot about this. I'm trying to find. Okay. Not 17. Let's do. Just trying to find this the right way. 26. Here we go. He is in particular manner the creator of all men. He made of one blood all nations. He made the first man. He makes every man. Is the former of every man's body and the father of every man's spirit. And he has made the nations of men, not only all men in the nations, but as nations in their political capacity. He is their founder and disposed them into communities for their mutual preservation and benefit. He makes them all of one blood, of one and the same nature. He fashions their hearts alike, descended from one and the same common ancestor. In Adam they are all akin, so that they are in Noah. That hereby they might be engaged in mutual affection and assistance as fellow creatures and brethren. Have we not all one Father? Hath not one God created us? Malachi 2:10. He hath made them to dwell all the face of the earth, which, as a bountiful benefactor, he has given with all his fullness to the children of men. He made them not live in one place, but to be dispersed all over all the earth. One nation therefore ought not to look with contempt upon another, as the Greeks did upon all the other nations. For those on all the face of the earth are of the same blood, and the Athenian boasts that they sprung out of their own earth, were aborigines, and nothing akin by blood to any other nation, which proud conceit of themselves, and the apostle here takes down. Okay. That's a good challenge. So the Athenians thought that they were better and different from other races on the earth. He's pointing it out. It's like, you're all the same. You're all from the same God and created from one man. That's a good point. He is the sovereign disposer of all the affairs of children and men according to the counsel of will. He has determined the times before appointed and the boundaries of the habitation. What's up, Darian? YF? Welcome in. Derain? How do you pronounce that? The wisdom of the disposals. He hath determined what was before appointed. Okay. Times. There we go. He has determined the appointed. We're going to do this. Deuteronomy 32, 8. Deuteronomy 32, 8. However I want. Okay. I said it as close as I could. When the Most High, this is the verse I'm talking about, guys. When we're talking about the rebellion of the nations, when the Most High gave the nations their inheritance, gave the nations as an inheritance is really what that, I believe, is saying. Gave the nations their inheritance. When he divided up humankind, he set the boundaries of the people according to the numbers of the heavenly assembly. This is actually a good translation because it's sons of God, not sons of Israel, as other transcripts say. The earlier ones say sons of God, which are heavenly beings, heavenly assembly. When the Most High gave the nations their inheritance, when he divided up humankind, set their boundaries of the people according to the numbers of the heavenly assembly. In other words, according to these divine beings, he divided up the nations to have as their inheritance, basically. But for the Lord's allotment of its people, Jacob his special possession. So God has his own nation that he's going to try to affect the other nations that are kind of going on with other gods now. Determine the appointed bounds of their habitation. That's what Paul's talking about here. He appointed the earth to be a habitation for the children of men. Distinction of habitation on the earth has instituted such a thing as property to which he has set bounds to keep us from trespassing, particular habitations in which our lot is cast, the place of our nativity, and of our settlement are of God's determining and appointing, which is a reason why we should accommodate ourselves to be habitations we are in and make the best of that. I mean, this is an older commentary, so it's not taken in that context necessarily. This is the main thing I want to point out about all this. We're talking about idols and we're talking about spiritual realities and warfare and all that different things. And what happens when the gospel spread, and why is the gospel being spread to the nations? It's because Jesus made it possible for all people to come to God and kind of escape the dominion or the authority of these other beings that they were kind of under. That's why Paul is just so adamant about this to them. Thanks, Mordecus. Thanks for welcoming everybody. so that we would search for God and perhaps grope around him and find him. In context, not this particular study, Dirian. It's Dirain, right? It's not Dirian. Dirain. I don't do studies particularly like this all the time, but I do studies a lot. What's up, River? Welcome in, brother. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. So that, well, why did he make so we're all from the same place. God determined set times and fixed limits of the places where they would live. It also has to do with the kind of spiritual realities that these people would have as not being part of, a chosen nation like Israel. They would be contending with false gods or gods that are not the true God. So that they would search for God and perhaps grasp him. What's another good translation? 27. So they would seek him or perhaps reach out for him and find him. Grope around him, grasp him. Not much to start at work for the day, so I'm mostly lurking. Cool, brother. Yeah, we're just talking about Acts 17 and the Areopagus and the Stoic and Epicurean philosophers, and Paul kind of like trying to tell them what's going on. Because in him and we have our being, as some of your poets have said, we are his offspring. So he's trying to get them to understand that all people are divinely created and that we're all share the same blood from the same, original people. Because of that, therefore, since we are God's offspring, we should not think that the divine being is like gold. And he's challenging them. This is part of the whole idea here. He's challenging them to say, okay, God gave people over to their own authority of, to different authorities, spiritual authorities, determined by their nations, determined by where, who or what had them before. But this was so that they would reach out for something bigger and better. And when they saw the true God, when they saw the God of Israel working and doing things, they would go, that's the true God. We have examples of that Old Testament over and over. People who are serving certain God, and then they find out that the God of Israel is the most high, the highest and most powerful and unique divinity that there is. And that's this whole point. Therefore, since we are God's offspring, we should not think that that the divine being is like gold or silver or stone. Like you guys are worshiping these idols, these man-made objects that supposedly have a God in them, and even if they do, it's what God needs that to be worshipped. What kind of divine being really needs to have stone or gold or silver to inhabit in order to be praised and worshipped? That's not a real God. That's not a powerful enough God for the God we're talking about. Since we are God's offspring, we should not think that. In the past, God overlooked such ignorance, but now he commands all people everywhere to turn from what they're doing and head back to the true God, basically. For he has set a day when he will judge the world with justice by the man he has appointed. He has given proof of this to everyone by raising him to the dead. Plenty of good arguments on the historical proof of the resurrection. What's up, Josh? Do I play any good iPhone games? No. I mean, the closest I've gotten recently is getting on the Wordle train. But I've only played that a little bit. But things like that. Most of my games are on the computer. I'm glad that our friend Tim's Tips wanted to come in and kind of be curious about this from a non-believer standpoint. Because he's right. Like, what does that mean? Why is Paul saying, because God made the whole, that from one man all nations came, and then he marked out their appointed times in history and their boundaries of their lands. And this would cause people to seek him. Like, that doesn't make sense unless you understand the worldview of an Israelite and ideas of spiritual warfare and spiritual dominion and territorial, allegiances and all those ideas. So God had all of mankind. He allotted them to other divine beings right here. He set their boundaries of people according to the number of the heavenly assembly. But, or for the Lord's atonement, allotment is his people, Jacob. So these other gods, they get these other nations, but God's going to have his own to kind of make an example of and bring everyone back, which is why we have Genesis 12. I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you, and I will make your name great, so that you will exemplify divine blessing. I wonder why he would need to exemplify divine blessing to other nations. I will bless those who bless you, but the ones who treat you lightly, I must curse. And all families of the earth will be blessed by one another. Will bless one another by your name. All the nations will be blessed because of God making this nation out of one man. Oh, I'm sorry, Josh. Was it the same thing going on with your levels with certain deficiencies or things that were going on? Is it that same thing? Because that's the last time I heard you when you went to the hospital. And how are you feeling? And what's going on? Please share with us. And feel free to get back in the Discord and post us a prayer request and updates and stuff. So I think this is a decent kind of overview. Let me see what else he was asking. How that was supposed to cause us to seek him. Okay, I think we kind of got around that. I feel like I understand everything else. I went over the stream, thoughts, full context. Let's check this out. $30 to 40 minutes. Let's see what he's saying here.
I don't think this makes sense scientifically. I don't think we came from one person. This is one of the things I was talking about earlier when I talked about evolution. Like if you look at it from like a scientific perspective, the way our like genetics go back, we don't come back from one person. There's no Adam. Instead, we evolve as like a population. Like the population evolves together.
Yeah. I mean, scientifically, we can prove that there was
So-
one or two women who started the human race, humanity.
I don't know.
through the mitochondrial Eve, as they call her, even though that's a scientists don't all like to call it that, but mitochondrial woman.
I'm not equipped to have that conversation, but in the future, I'll probably talk about that. I'll probably do research and then I'll lay it out. But this is an example of Paul disagreeing with that. So this is something where I view the science as at odds with the Bible.
Bible's not a
And you
scientific
could
book.
say, well, Paul didn't know, or that Paul is speaking to just these people inside of a cultural context.
Mm-hmm.
But once you start doing that to a certain extent, like you start to, okay, well, if it's all just this historical context, and you can't really trust anything the dude says, like, why are we looking for why are we turning to the Bible to get our moral advice? Shouldn't we be doing it through reflection or whatever means,
Philosophy. That's literally what he's doing.
But that this turning to
Philosophy.
God's word, the Bible, whatever.
I get what he's saying.
That shouldn't be how about that. It doesn't matter. That's not for now. But he appointed their times in history and boundaries of the land. So I think what we can glean for this is that country rises, fall. This is tied to the blessings of God or whatever. Like that's kind of like that is kind of like a strong statement to make from just this, but I think that there's other verses you can pull together in the Bible. So here we talk about the boundaries of their nations and stuff. I actually think that when we think of like determinism type stuff, I don't think Paul was thinking about it, right? I kind of like argue against determinism and stuff, but I don't think Paul had like an idea of determinism or free will. I don't think he thought about it.
Not,
Like I think he definitely thought things were predestined.
all events, including.
I don't think he thought about like the implications of that, or like
I think he
what
did.
that meant inside like a logical.
Because
framework.
that's
I
what
don't
part
think
of
he thought
that
about
whole thing is about, is man choosing to follow
So-
God because he's searching for a larger explanation than the idols he has by free will. That's a good point.
That's just my impression of Paul. And so I don't think that sort of discussion started to take place until like a couple hundred years later.
Maybe. They always had an idea of free will within Judaism, for sure.
But I don't know. I've not read a lot of the early church fathers, so their interpretations of things
Well, yeah, even
might be different than I
first century
think.
Judaism thoughts before the church fathers even.
For in him we live, move, and have our being. As some of your own poets have said, we are his offspring. So I think what's referring to here is like Hercules, and it's like basically you have like these tales about.
Let me see this. We are his offspring. Paul's quoting the second phrase of Aratus' poem from Zeus begin, never let us leave, his name unloved, with him and Zeus are filled with all paths we tread, and all the to the seas and every creek and bay, and all the things that we need to help of Zeus, for which we are his offspring. Oh, okay. That's interesting. There's two. Him of Zeus. They're talking about Zeus and us being the offspring, and he's the kind of the creator. Yeah, that's a little more literal than what he's talking about for sure. Um,
And gods and stuff, the mythology of ancient Greece. And I think what's staying here is that these people are so wondrous. Hercules is so strong. He is like the son of a god. And so
Possibly. I
the
think it's
idea
more of what
here
he's
is that
talking about here, where Greek philosophers actually thought that we are the children of God Zeus because Zeus created us as mortals. And Paul's relating that idea to the idea that the God of the Bible is the creator of all human beings. And maybe even the idea of being imaged, an imager. Yeah, this is interesting. I think the Deuteronomy 32 worldview here is big. Once again, God set the boundaries according to the number of the heavenly assembly, according to other divine beings that would have authority to over these other nations that God was cutting off, and that He would do His own thing with Israel and make an example, so that people would actually seek the true God through Israel. Yeah, that's closer to what I think Paul's trying to get at here. And that makes sense when we're talking about boundaries and nations and peoples. But he's also talking about the difference between the God of the Bible, the God of Israel, with the gods of the nations. But he's also affirming in him we move and have our beings. That we are his offspring, that God literally made us and made us like him. Because that's even what the Stoic philosophers had thought. Where are you? We can go in a little more just so we can see what I'm talking about. That all things we need help, for we too are his offspring. That's of Zeus, Aratus. All of us live and move on the earth. For we are thine offspring, and we alone of all that live and move on the earth receive the gift of imitative speech. And how we're set apart from the things in the earth, too. That we are his children because we're like God in certain ways. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. Isaiah, what God says through Isaiah. Interesting. Yeah, I think that's a good kind of like starting point with answering his question. As it says at the end, some of the people became followers of Paul and believed. Among them was Dionysius, a member of the Areopagus. There we go. That's so interesting. Some thought he was crazy. Some of them sneered. Okay. Well, maybe I can just send him this video. Maybe not. Because this is kind of talking, and then we could probably honestly get on a Discord call and talk about all this. But okay. Anybody have questions in chat about what we're talking about? Because this has a lot to do with Paul interacting with beliefs during the day, his day, philosophers and such, relating a biblical worldview to. And it's so funny. Cool. A lot of the pagans had similar worldviews to how, the ideas of the flood and the ideas of like giants and, you know, it gets a little fanned out over different cultures and time from Babel, but there's a lot that Paul can pick up on, it seems. Let me see here. Will it give me something? Just trying to make sure that I can maybe send him something. Acts 17. Here we go. Motivated by the okay. So how many Christians really think and live like that when it comes to the kingdom of God? Not enough. All right, I'll read this. Yeah. I was asked a few weeks ago in Arkansas how the material of the unseen realm helps us with the mission as Christians. I've been asked that many times. I told the lady who asked about this that I didn't see any institution being the answer to the world's problems. Not government, not institutional church, not institutional Christian ministries. The answer is Christians. If we honestly had a vision for how we are, by God's providential design, imager members of God's family council, participating with him as unseen imagers in advancing the kingdom, releasing the lost from the lies their spiritual overlords have told them, human and non-human, the world we change. It's winning hearts and minds through sacrifice, like the apostles did. It's really believing that this world isn't our home and then acting like it. It's taking risks and letting providence guide us, believing that what we have to do is part of an intelligent plan that we cannot see, but that God is rolling out person to person. My controversial illusion was ISIS. Every member of ISIS is single-minded. They are a Borg, or cyborg, from Star Wars fans, okay? Star Trek fans. Their first thought every day is advancing their agenda. Their last thought every night is what they'll do tomorrow to advance their agenda. Their vision of what they want the world to be never goes away, never changes. It's always the center. Any individual interest is secondary. How many Christians really think and live like that when it comes to the kingdom of God? Not enough. That mindset, motivated by the love of Christ, belief in the reality of our hereafter destiny, and confidence that God will use any service of others to further his end is, in my view, how spiritual warfare ought to get done and how it was done in the first century or so. The vision was consuming. Our vision of the kingdom, at least in the West, it seems, is peripheral. We don't see the vision. And so we cannot believe in it, and so we lack the power. We fail to assert the power that is already over darkness to convince people by our words and actions and sacrificial sharing of resources and time that the Lord of the dead, Satan, or the enemy, is powerful over those in Christ. So let's act like this life isn't our real life. That the gospel can heal the self-destructive things we do, sometimes accelerated by the Watchers, fallen sons of God in Jewish and earliest church theology, and that the authority of the gods of the nations put in place by Yahweh as a punishment at Babel has been revoked, and the nations, or Gentiles, are now being called back, commanded to return to the family of God through the seed, Christ, of Yahweh's inheritance, Israel. These are the Paul, Acts 17, and a range of other passages where Paul, for some reason, links the resurrection of the dead and links the resurrection to the defeat of those fallen gods. Believers in the first century believed these things, and those things changed the way we live. We don't believe we have a cosmic role to play. We don't believe in the cosmic arena in which the game is being played. We have lots of sincere Christians who are basically believing skeptics. And that affects how we think about how they think about their own lives, which in turn affects their vision. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. This is about vision and abandonment of the vision, doing what you do every day, no matter how small, to move the mission towards its goal, one person at a time, and believing God incorporates such obedience into his end game. 13 men had that in the first century, and they turned the world upside down. Acts 17:6. We have the same truth and the same spirit, but we lack the person-to-person, day-to-day obsession with being salt and light in the way that ISIS wants what it wants. And I, for one, believe that they aren't acting alone. They are part of what's ultimately a spiritual war. That's a little here and there, but that's kind of encapsulates what I'm trying to say a little bit about what he thinks. That the resurrection and spiritual warfare and dominion of gods and different divine entities over the nations of the world before and during Christ's time, and then Christ breaking that through his resurrection, kind of taking back the nations, as it were, that all plays into what's happening. That's all plays into what's happening. Let me see if it's Acts 17. Paul and other the Bible contains no laws that call for classless society. In fact, biblical law presumes social classes. The same can be said of the teachings of Jesus. Jesus presumes social classes and never calls for their abolition. What he calls for is righteousness among members of social classes, righteous relationships. The words of the apostles in the epistolary literature is entirely consistent with Paul. Paul and others benefit from the benevolence of wealthy individuals and business owners, and never link their conversion or walk with God to surrender of their possessions or their businesses. The very idea of giving to the poor according to one's ability requires differing financial situations. Okay. 1712, what's he talking about here? A number of prominent Greek women and Greek men believed. That's what he's talking about. Okay. I just want to see how he's referencing Acts 17 and all of this. (17:10). Okay. The last one was the best reference so far. Mission, the cross, a common significant question. Okay. We're going to find some of this stuff. In light of the Deuteronomy worldview, share some thoughts on how you'd teach or explain Acts 17, 26, and 27. This is perfect. So, as a correction which the apostle gave to philosophers and religious people in the area, a correction because they worshipped idols made of silver and gold, which could neither talk nor move, much less bring about the existence of people who worshipped them. It was God who brought about the existence, so to fulfill his purpose. In the last part of Acts 17:27, we read how nations, after they were divided, would seek God, if perhaps they groped for him and find him. But considering how men, when left to general revelation, alone cannot find the God of the Bible, I ask myself, how could they possibly find him? They might, through general revelation, know of him, but not know him. Acts 17:26 seems to affirm this thought. They knew of the unknown God, but did not know God. What is even more astounding to me about the sovereignty of God and his, I'll zoom it in for you guys. Sovereignty of God and his care in revealing himself throughout creation as a witness of his excellence is that it leaves man without excuse. All men know that there must be a first cause, yet they worship objects that were created instead of the Creator. Another way of understanding the last part of verse 27 is to refer to Deuteronomy 32, 8, and 9 and simply say that God was not pleased to have the Athenian people as his inheritance. And so, whatever pride they had in themselves as people was vanity, for it is God alone who chooses his inheritance. However, if God were pleased to choose some from among them as in his inheritance, then he would reveal himself unto them and bring them about their belief. We observe in the final verse of this chapter how some did join Paul. Okay. I discern we might be parroting things we have heard from more shallower teachings than we have heard some preach. Men might know about God, but not really know his statement. For one, I have never understood. Let's see here what we're saying. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of these. Your message? You mean your story? I talked about that a while ago. I don't see a message from you, Eugene. Hey, what's up, MLP? Welcome back, brother. Sister, My Little Pony, my bad. I had to think about it. Yeah, I didn't ignore that. You didn't hear me reference that? Jesus won't be sad if I praise him among Pentecostals or Baptists? Nope. Spirit and truth. That's what I said before. God's spirit and truth. If you're worshiping him in spirit and truth, you can worship alongside Pentecostals, Baptists, yeah. And of course, yeah, Eastern Orthodox would have extensive and abstract answers. That's what I had said before, if that's the message you're talking about. Yeah, right when you said it, I finished what I was reading and commented on it. Or did I miss one? Because that's the only one I'm seeing, Eugene. What's up, MLP? We're just going over people's thoughts on Acts 17 when Paul's talking to the pagan philosophers in Athens before Darian. Yeah, of course. Yeah, the one you said you had a chat with the Eastern Orthodox priest. Oh, do I remember how Russian TV employee invaded live broadcasts? Sometimes I feel sort of creative. That's what you're talking about. Sorry. Yeah, that's the one we were talking about the other day, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be better. John 3:16 instead of don't believe the war. Sorry about that, Eugene. I just thought it. Yeah, I didn't click the link earlier. Sorry about that. Plus, I'm trying to do this study without looking a little too hard at the stuff on the screen. Cool. Welcome back, MLP. Yeah, that's funny. Here, let me. If only I had the right thing to do it on. Here, we'll do this. Now I'm curious. Huh. It won't let me do that either. Interesting. Okay. I wish I could pull it over from there and show it on stream. But yeah. Yeah, Jesus, forgive them. They know not what they do. Exactly. Hard thing to do. Um, I like how Michael Heiser just started this discussion and never came back to it. I understand MLP. I know that's how it can feel. But forgiveness isn't necessarily for them, it's for you, right? You've heard that before. Um, letting go of the debt that they owe you, because that's, yeah, I know you totally know this. I know you're pretty deep into it, and I know that's how it can feel, especially coming out of Mormonism or dealing with some of the, I mean, turpentine for the parasites. It's okay. I understand. I mean, the one thing I know that you've thought about and that helps a lot is on a second round of antibiotics. Well, I hope you're feeling better. What's, if you mind sharing, what exactly was the infection? Was it something that was scary? Second round of antibiotics? That's always hard. But back to the idea of vengeance is the Lord's, right? That's the thing that we can rely on. Oh my gosh, can we rely on that? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm 35. I'll be 36 in April, so that would be crazy to think about. Hmm. I'm sorry, MLP. Good. I mean, I'm glad. I only know of natural remedies for migraines that work as well as migraine medicine, scientifically. Less itchy, good. Well, I'm sorry about that, MLP, and I know that it was a while though. Yeah, no doubt. That's what parasites will do for sure. What are you doing, Willow? What are you doing? Here, let's get some. Oh, sit. Come. Okay. Fine. Yeah, puppy.
Are you done?
Yeah, puppy. I'm just putting her on screen.
It's so funny. I always laugh.
Good girl.
I always laugh when new people come on the way you react. It's so funny.
Hi, puppy. You good girl? Can I get some love now? Yeah. Oh. Yep, the doggo. Step at a time. God, that's hard. That sounds like something that people go through with Lyme disease and stuff like that. $200 similar. Yeah. I mean, parasites, right? Lyme disease is a parasite. Um, totally makes sense that they would be the same. Just like Borrelia, yeah. And they have a mucosal layer or mucosal kind of defense system that keeps the body from seeing it, which is crazy. Biofilm, yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's sneaky, sneaky stuff. That's why people who have been cured of Lyme disease are really, they got to stay on top of it because there's really no, if you get it early enough, maybe. But long term, oh my gosh. Right, I know. And there's a lot of more natural things. Yeah, so you have plenty of experience to include in this for sure. Um okay, I'll send him this video too, but I'd like to just talk with him about it. Cuz like he was talking about from one man God created all, and then he got into the idea of um evolution, and you're like, okay, well, I mean, Paul's not talking from a scientific worldview. He's talking about truth claims through an ancient Near Eastern kind of way of thinking. Um, even evolutionarily speaking, we can say that God, from one type of man, made us. um, or at least 1 to 2 women, as the mitochondrial Eve would say. Mitochondrial Eve, 2 women. Going back through time. Familypedia. Okay. Mitochondrial, we converge when 2 or more women have the same mother. The further back in time one goes, the fewer mitochondrial enters. Yep. It's a matrilineal, most recent common ancestor of all living. Yeah, most recent common ancestor. And there are debates about co-atomism and pre-Adam, other humans besides Adam and other humans before Adam. I don't know if any of them hold up that well, scripturally speaking, or even genetically speaking. Now that we're talking about it, um, but yeah, this is where I would look. This is Deuteronomy 2 again. They sacrificed to demons, not gods, to gods they had not known, to new gods who had recently come along, gods your ancestors had not known about. That's what he's talking about. Divine beings being worshipped, false gods. With a nation slow to learn, I will enrage them. So I will make them jealous with a people they do not recognize. Who? These false gods. These other entities that are being worshipped. Huh, so interesting. So, um, I can't do advanced GG. I just can't do some of this stuff. It's too unnatural for me. Anyway, let's see. Since we're already kind of done with that part, we don't have to do readings for today or anything. I guess the next thing to do would be a poll to see what people want to play. Boom. Let's do that. Starting it up. We got 5 people in here to vote. Take a vote, and I'll be right back. Thank you. Yeah, the game I've been playing a lot recently, Destiny 2. Yay. I got stuff to do on there. Well, thank you, MLP. Aki's playing Iron Banner right now. The Iron Banner. Where's Takuya when you need her? She, the one who always makes me do accents. Ron Banner? She's on the get well? Okay, good. Oh, yeah. That's right. So Boom. Dun, dun, dun. Come on, give it to me. Just kidding, no idea. I mean, she's been on the get well before. I don't know why it's not. Fine. Is that it? Do I need to go to? Okay. It's both. It's PvP and PvE. Eugene. Fine. I've been having to play on display. Whatever. Rest in peace. Totally. Destiny 2. Leveling. ADHD. Okay, change. Yay! Is there a TV at my home? Yes. There is a TV at my home. I don't play on my TV. Much. I guess I need to get my commands down more. Okay. Look at that, all the way up. All the way up to 1552 now. What do I gotta do? Auto rifle, sidearm, stasis. Fine. What? What? Hey, Jate. Jate. Were you on late last night on into today, or did you start this morning? Thanks for the raid. Alice. How's it going?
And gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Welcome in, Alice. Welcome in, Losty. Thanks for the raid, Jade. How's everybody doing? Morning stream. Okay, 4 a.m. Heard that. It's not an exactly. It's not an unreasonable question. Yeah, good, Alice. Thanks for the follow, Losty. Get some dancing guys on the screen. Yeah, we just got done talking about Acts 17. There's the question, Jate, that that Tim's Tips, the guy that you sent over to me, he had questions about Acts 17, and I just kind of covered them. Yeah, Alicia. Finally, Alicia. Good to see you again. But we were answering some of the questions about Acts 17 and what it means about God setting the boundaries of the nations and how that would cause people to seek him. It takes a little context of how people thought, but I just talked about it on stream. I had to take my time, make sure you were worthy of my follow. Exactly. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. Well, good. Thanks for coming in. Because we won't get there for another 15 weeks or so. Or more. Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. You're Act 2, so 15 more weeks. Well, good. What game were you playing? What game? What's the new games, man? What's the new games? And I take it you didn't do a Thankful Thursday at 4 p.m., 4 a.m.? Because you weren't on yesterday, right? Hey, what's up, Matsky? Welcome in. Welcome in. Look at my, oh, nice. Thank you. I'll let you see my Hunter full gear. Look at that. It's pretty gangster, right? Oh, Warzone in the morning? Yeah, Hunter. I like it. This vest it's a legendary vest. Hunter, barely know her. I don't know. It's a little bit like the most dangerous game. Isn't that the book and movie? The most dangerous game. I think that's it. Where they get the guy, or have you ever seen The Pest? The movie The Pest? John Leguizamo in the 90s, where the guy basically hunts humans. Yep, Hunter, barely know her. That's an old school one. But yeah, no, this vest makes it to where it reloads when I dodge. It reloads my weapons and makes me faster and more handling speed after I dodge for a little bit. Wow. So that's what's up with me right now. Wow. I'm not sure what to do. I'm thinking I'm gonna do some. How do you download that hack? You don't. It's sound alerts, if that's what you're talking about. Or the hack. What? The hack about moving. Because that's just the vest. That's just this thing right here, if that's what we're talking about. The Dragon Shadow. Every time I think about hack, I think about Hack and Hodge. who's never in here, never in Jate's streams, but he's always on on Love Clan. Vesthack, nice. Vesthack.com. I was hoping it would be a real thing. Nope, it's not a real website. That'd be so funny if it was. Exactly, Alice, exactly. True. Bungie at some point, but in the games. Okay, yeah. It's okay, Jade. I know that you missed Destiny 2, and you got in on some raids back when we had to work our way up from 1480, 1280. Yeah, because 1350 was the highest. Now it's 1550, 1560-ish. Okay, do I have any quests I need to do? I think I'm gonna do one round first of Vanguard. On Hero. I remember when levels were a thing. I just didn't want to grind that much. And doing the legendary campaign got me up to 1520, past the soft cap of 1500. So I'm like, okay. It's been all I've been playing because that's what you have to do when you play Destiny. You can't play anything else, or else it can literally be a waste of time. Back before light level, yep. Oh my god. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Alicia likes it. Those are some fun ones. So, I remember 2014 Destiny. Back when you literally had to farm everything, and it was much more RPG-like. It was good. It was fun. That's when I first played Vault of Glass. I remember playing that with the boys. Oh man, if I wasn't in the middle of getting into a game right now, I'd show you this funny. It had, when Frodo's going to the island at the end of the third Lord of the Rings, where he's going to the elf island, and he's never going to see his friends again. He's all smiling and he's looking back, and his friends are all crying, and it's the first part of the meme of the GIF is him looking back, smiling, saying, "Me seeing my boys getting online on date night." And then it has it shows the friends crying, and it's like my girlfriend, and then it has him leaving smiling, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's funny. Ah! I put it in the memes in Warriors of Light. OG Vault, but you played some Vault of Glass with Aki and them, didn't you? You want to see the most broke thing ever? Watch. The glaive with the settings I have, this is what I call infinite invisibility. It gives you invisibility if you suppress people. Then you have a thing you can turn on that suppresses people with the glaive. So you just keep suppressing and keep going invisible forever. Crazy. It's almost like cheating. It is. They made it to where it's something you can't do in the raid, which I'm like, okay, good. At least. I mean, it's great for ad clearing. surprised face. My whoa face. Whoa. Oh, look. I hate when you have to leave behind heavy ammo. I hate it. Yes, Losty. We're all about the hacks here. I mean, Alice said it right, you know. They just don't have the same kind of You sit down. You sit down. Okay. I'm going a little too hard. Going a little too hard. You know it. A hack pulling off hacks. That's me. Look, more heavy ammo that I can't use. That's okay. All right, now I'm actually going to stop hacking, and I'm going to do a little bit of, I got to kill people with this handgun for it to go through. Is this the right one? Yeah, it's the right one. So, G-Funk, my name is Garrett. So G-Funk's always been kind of one of the many different nicknames friends would have. Railroad, I used to work for, I used to work for oil and gas companies, going and looking at different ownership, who owned land and who owned minerals, and a lot of the surveys were called railroad surveys. So at the time I thought, oh, G-Funk Railroad. Then later, I realized it was probably subconscious for Grand Funk Railroad, the band. We're an American band. Take it to your town, we'll help you party it down. That's Grand Funk Railroad had a number of hits. And I don't understand his hacks. Exactly. How you doing that?
The list is long.
How's the moon getting off its own light?
Told you he was saving humanity.
That's hilarious.
Collecting the radiolarian
All
fluid
hacks.
from the Vex that came through was the prime purpose.
Witchcraft. It's
I
what you're
wanted
calling.
it
You're just
shut
calling
down.
it witchcraft.
Clovis wouldn't have it. Once again, he flew too close to the sun, and once again, the rest of us paid for it.
The rest of us
Bastard.
paid for it. Uh-oh, she said a naughty word. Like, Jade's like, I feel comfortable playing Warzone only at 4 a.m. because of people cussing and because stream won't be disappointed with me playing first-person shooter at 4 a.m. Later, brother. The second one is it, yeah. Well, I take it you would care about the cussing on Warzone at any time you played it. Just because it's so bad. If you literally have to just find people without mics. Most games you're like, you got a mic, you got a mic. On Warzone you're like, please don't have a mic, please don't have a mic. And I got friends on Warzone I played with for over a year and a half, and they're bad. Voice muted. Okay, that does it. Did you play regular battle royale or did you play arenas? Not arenas. Now I'm thinking Apex. Rebirth. Rebirth only. Nice. The only way to go. Only way to go. How much do I have left on this? Dang, I gotta make some kills. This might not be the best place to use this weapon. Okay, that's it. Okay. Okay, Losty. It's just, Warzone's the worst. Apex is okay. This, you never get people talking. There's a bleep ton of swearing. Wow! Can I get a shield up in here? Oh my gosh, he's about to die too. It's a nightfall too, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, not to play Mother Hen, but I thought Jate Live was going to He does make promises like that. Okay, fine. I don't know if I'm getting any kills. There we go. I'm chatting with Garrett. Yeah. Plus, he wants to be put to sleep, so he's going to stick around. It's a good strategy. Wow. Oh. You will die! Yes, finally. Very, very tired. Okay, yes, go nap, Jate. Go nap before you get up for your stream in a couple hours. Just kidding. Or is that the plan? I don't know. Sometimes trying to rearrange these sleep schedules can have you doing all sorts of stuff. That's it. That's it. I will stream when I'm not sleeping. Okay, yeah. Yeah. All right, good morning, Jate. Slash night, slash whenever. Good night in Japan, Jate. Good night in Japan. Good night in Japan. We made it to the last level, folks. Good morning, good night, good moment.
Don't let even a single one escape.
And there we go. Woo, they did not like me. Holla at your boy, holla at your boy. Oh, whoa. Whoops. Okay. Matsky, I'm good. I don't know if Losty, if it's time. I just know when Jate streams really late, like his sleep schedule was like more aligned with Japan's time than ours for a long time. Where he'd literally start like get up at 4 p.m. or something. I just don't have the same weapons that I've had before. I don't like this. Thank you. I'm doing okay. Right now I'm a little injured. I injured my knee about a month ago, actually. And I've been working and trying to get it back, and it's still injured, so now I'm taking a couple weeks off. So, thank you. It does. We'll see. I'm hopefully going to get an MRI soon. Well, goodbye. Ooh, get out of there! Nice. One day at a time, Matsky. One day at a time. Thank you for the revive. We're almost up for another super. Come on, baby. Yeah! How could we already killed the big bad? Oh yeah, we gotta kill more than that, I forgot. There we go. Yay, got my deep sight resonance.
Those Hex are down for the count.
Good riddance, evil bastards. Until next
Ooh,
time.
she just likes that word. $46. Okay. We're gonna switch these up since we have this deep sight resonance now. Yeah. Oh yeah. Not half bad, not half bad. Oh, I gotta do a little more sidearm too. Dang it. Alright, let's see if we can get some more bounties on the app. Vanguard. I mean, maybe I'll do some. Maybe I'll do some Iron Banner since I actually. What? Spock? Thank you for the follow, Spock. Welcome in. Welcome in, Spock. Fine, we'll do Iron Banner. Iron Banner. Right, Iron Banner. Level advantages are enabled and heavy ammo crates are shared. Alrighty. Thank you for the follow, Spock. Welcome to G-Funk Railroad. Welcome to the stream. I'm a variety streamer. I do this kind of stuff, first-person shooters, but I also do Bible studies and theology discussions and books. I read books. I have an entire. Let me show you while we're in here. This is the next to me in my stream. These are all the books that I've been reading stuff with. So.
I'm calling it. 10 seconds.
Yep. No! Why?
Flames have gone cold.
Why'd you put me in the middle of nothing?
They've won. But you'll be back. Even the most brittle steel can be tempered.
I mean, I lost, but I got something. Okay. What's this? 1545? Oh. 54. 65. Nope. I waste these a lot, so I'm just going to do it again. Boom. Boom. Would you rather have a foot-long nose or a nose-long foot? It's the first time I've ever heard that question, Losty. Probably, if I had to decide, it'd be a foot-long nose, because a nose-long foot, I couldn't walk. But I could definitely walk with that. It would just be really annoying. People think I would be lying all the time. I don't know. I don't know how I deal with that. Dun, dun, dun. What's pulse monitor? Oh, cool. We're going to get rid of this one. Because this one has the same trait as this that I like. Turnabout. Turnabout is when you break a shield of a guardian. You know what? I might even do that. Let's see here. No, I don't want to give up these weapons. Anyway. Nose is the way. For sure. I mean, how could... Literally a foot, 3-inch long foot, you're going to fall all the time. Who has feet that are foot long anyway? Yeah, I mean... The King of England back in the day did, because that's what they came it up for, right, Alice? Right? You know that, right? Yeah? Huh? It was the size. It's a pretty big foot. I mean, the 12-inch foot is crazy large.
Delay no longer. Glory is yours today.
Good old Henry.
Captured Zone A. Opponent claimed Zone C.
Ooh, almost got put out right there. Watch out, guys. I'm going backside.
Opponent claimed Zone B. Zone B captured. Zone advantage is yours.
That's how you do it right there. Yeah! That's how we do it right there. That 12 to 13-inch shoes, that's...
Ah, yes. The hunt is
I mean,
on.
I probably wear... probably like 10-inch shoes or something. Oh, man. Locked down, baby.
Another hunt will come soon.
Oh, I just rushed in too hard on that one. Fools rush in, guys. Fools rush in.
Zone C.
So, River, have you been on Destiny at all?
Zone B.
What's your big first-person shooter game? Whatever. I should have just rushed up on him.
Zone A captured. 2 zones are yours.
2 zones are yours. Thank you, Matsky. You can do it. You can do it. Ooh, tried to get out of there with a dodge. Not happening.
Zone B lost.
Zone B lost.
Two zones are yours.
gangster right there. I like it. I couldn't even see. Ooh, broke him. Not in forever. I'm on much of a... Okay. I figured you're definitely more of an RPGer. But what, as Aki would say, what if we could get you into a game that's kind of like a RPG Anna? Woo!
Zone B lost.
Okay, I'm just gonna start stabbing people. Enough shooting with this. Just stabbing. Just gonna stab people. How about that?
Captured Zone B. Zone advantage is yours.
Unless I like have to shoot them like that.
You
Or that.
strike as
Yeah! Running with the pack.
Zone A lost.
Look at that! Give it to me! I got one shot left. What are we gonna do with it? What are we gonna do with it?
You captured Zone C. 2 zones are yours.
Fine, fine. 2 zones are yours. At least we're almost doubling their score up. Oh, we doubled it. Basically doubled it. Oh, look at that. Put them all together. Put them all together for me. Seven, 8, 9,
Zone
go.
C lost. You have the advantage. Press on.
Got him though, coach.
5 minutes left. Sound tactics.
I'm the least on my team, and I'm not doing bad, but I'm the least ranked. Well, it's not most effective play. Melee spamming with the glaive is PvP. So much fun. I agree, Stratus. Hey, that's what I do. That's like my okay, Stratus. If you have the glaive suppression and the invisibility, it's infinite invisibility, right? Not on raids as much. Not on raids as much, but it's still fun. Oh my gosh.
You captured Zone C. 2 zones are yours.
2 zones are yours.
Zone B lost.
Invisible. Yeah.
You captured Zone A.
Good point.
2 zones are yours.
Ah!
You've almost won, but don't let up. They won't.
Again, that's what I've been sticking with is this class. Just for that purpose.
Zone B captured. The flames have ignited. Let the wolves hunt.
Woo!
2 down. You are victorious.
All right. But look, Stratus, I'm finally at 1550. 1552, I
The
think, to be
original Iron
precise.
Lords may be gone.
What do we got
but I
going
can
on
see
here?
the future is safe
42,
in your
46.
hands.
Nope. 1543 with what? What did I put on that's low? Oh, it's doing it without the bonus. Duh, it's PvP. Yeah, brah. I just need to get a raid down eventually. There we go, 50-52. The year of our Lord. Of course, I finally got that galley. Of course. Yes, it's power matters. Yeah. Exactly. That would be... I'm just glad I'm high enough to play Iron Banner. Thanks for the lurk, Alice. Was it dinner time over there, basically, right?
Opponent claimed Zone A. Opponent claimed Zone B. Zone A captured. 2 zones are yours.
This guy's voice is epic. 2 zones are yours.
Zone C lost. Zone advantage is yours.
Woo! Shoddy, shoddy. Maybe I'll switch to that. Okay, what do I want to do? Pulse rifle and the shotgun with the turnabout.
Zone B lost.
I don't get to melee people, but it's fun. Give me a shotty. Give me my shotgun bullets now. So this turnaround thing, in case you don't know what it is, if you can break a shield with a shotgun bullet, you get an overshield.
Zone C captured.
And it doesn't do
Zone
much, obviously.
advantage is yours.
I just broke his thing. Broke his armor with it. Yeah, that didn't work too well. I guess the overshield isn't a big deal.
Zone B captured. They hear the howls and know fear.
Not gonna do it.
The howls are
No
quiet.
ammo.
Return to the
Okay.
fight.
All right, they are up. We need to get this going. They're double us right now. They're doubling us like Irishmen.
Opponent claimed Zone A. You captured Zone B. Zone C captured. Zone advantage is yours.
I say, I can see you, bro. I'm a hunter too, bro.
Captured Zone A. Everything is yours. Relish this time. The flames have gone cold.
Oh, okay. I want to do the sniping. Okay.
Zone A captured.
All right, I'm going to see.
Opponent claimed Zone C. Opponent claimed Zone B. You captured Zone C. Zone advantage is yours. 5 minutes left. Sound tactics so far.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Oh yeah, yeah, nope. Armor of light. Not messing with that armor of light.
Zone C lost. Use it to destroy.
Ooh. Yeah, we're not coming back from this one. I don't think so, at least. That's shoddy. Alright, back to the actual shooting people thing.
Zone B captured. You have the advantage. Press on. Don't let up till it's over. 3 minutes remain. Keep the pressure and you have them.
This would be a crazy Slash concert. Oh, cool. What? 75 a ticket? 75 a ticket ain't bad for nowadays, though. Woo! He jumped out of my view, man.
Well
They got it.
fought
They got it.
and well won.
Oh, we got it. I literally thought we were losing. What's wrong with me?
Do you feel
Don't answer that
stronger?
question.
You should.
You should. 42. 44. No. What's going on, man? What's going on, bruh? It's okay. But yeah, 75 doesn't sound like a crazy amount. Not nowadays. Sounds like 1990s prices, bro. Under $100. Oh, Slash. As in Slash the guitarist, right? Right? Am I right? Is that who we were talking about? Opponents defeated. Zones captured. Okay. Conspirators. Oh. Yeah. Exactly. It's if you're not like, I have to see this person. The concerts I've been to in the last like 15 years have been Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers back in like 2010. And then 2017 I went and saw Hall and Oates. Hall and Oates with Tears for Fears opening. Went to see, is that 2? Second Devo in Alabama? 2 Devo Alabama? Or just Devo Alabama? Il. Okay. Il Divo. Got you. Il. As an Italian. Divo, diva. Like diva. La diva, il divo. The male version of a diva. I don't want to open any of these. Hall & Oates in Orlando one summer, but my friends called me old and nobody... Hey, man, I was born in '86, so Hall & Oates was still old for me because they were big in that time. It took me, 15 years to even hear a song that I was like, oh, that sounds fun. There's really not... Oh, I guess I do have Dares of Eternity to do, don't I? No, Grasp of Avarice to do. I've already done that. All my big leveling stuff I've already done. Except for this. Grasp of Avarice. Grasp of Avarice. The Helm. And then, of course, Vault of Glass, which I'm not going to do by myself. Oh, yeah, Gambit. What's some Gambit? You're 89 years old? Nah, I know. Oh, wow, one of their guys passed away in Hall & Oates? Yeah! That you're talking about? I thought I heard that, too. Daryl Hall or John Oates? Who was it? Yeah, Daryl Hall. Daryl Hall. Well, there you go. No way! Blah, blah, blah. I know. That's how I feel. Daryl Hall. Jonathan Oates. Carlos Marine from Il Divo. Oh, heard. I guess it's a both and. All these people just dropping off the map here. Wada wada. Tremendous voice. See, I didn't even know who Il Divo is. So now I gotta go look up Il Divo. Oh my gosh. Sorry, knee's starting to hurt a little bit, so I'm making a little more room for me, so I'm gonna be scooting back. Brr. Brr. And we'll keep the mic over here. Okay. Tremendous voice.
Enough fooling around.
Hi! Bring a sword.
Be brave, be notorious.
Think you could eat a hive knight?
These are the questions you ask yourself.
Let's do it.
Give me those moats and I'll make you rich, brother. I promise.
All right, I got all the right stuff on. Okay. So this game, if you haven't played Gambit, it's basically racing the other team to see who can beat off hordes of certain types of enemies. You get the moats.
Incoming at the burrow.
And you go over here and you deposit the moats. Every time you deposit them, it sends an enemy to the other people.
Small blocker to the
See,
other
small
side.
blocker, little blocker. Then I come in here and just wreck everybody's face off and go invisible.
Watch it. You're shedding moats. Kill the blockers. Hostiles incoming at command.
See, and that was a blocker, one of theirs, so they can send people over to get you.
You're bleeding monks, brother! Whack the blockers! Watch your back. Invader incoming.
Okay. Those grenades I don't get. Okay. Thanks for the link. I'll chickadee check it out.
Hostiles incoming at the burrow. Invader's gone. Get him next time.
All right, let's get it over there.
Got eyes on a high-value target. Track it down. Portal's up. You just dropped a taken on the other side. Hope you're proud.
I did. And I am. Very proud.
Moat's draining. The blockers must die, brother. High-value target is down and out. Your allies invaded. Your invader is down. Pulling them back. Invader on the field. Careful.
Why? What keeps killing me like that? Whole group. Okay, good. Just the bass, but he was sang too? That's awesome. Bass singer.
Enemy invader is down. You can breathe now. Opposing team's got a prime evil. Once it dies, they win. Mortal's ready. Go say hello. Incoming hostiles at the ring.
Do I really need to come and help every time? Get those moats, bro. They already got their champion, their guy down.
Go say hello. You're invading. Make a mess.
I didn't know you could do that. You can invade. I played this game before. I don't remember any of this.
Portal's up.
They got us. They got us. Look at that
Not
champ.
out of this yet. Kill that prime evil. Opposing team's about to win. Allies headed to the other side. You're being invaded. Find them before they find you. Opposing team's about to win. The enemy team's about to win this. Get moving. And that's it. Opposing team took out their prime evil.
We just got ours. See? Now, is it just play 3 games? Complete 3 matches. Okay. Complete 3 matches, not win. Complete. So, yeah, today's Friday. I should be working tonight, but I'm going to be off for another week and a half. It's been 4 days. since I got my 2 weeks kind of leave established. So. One more Guardian. So, Mordecus, what kind of jobs are you looking for? The same area, I take it? Using the same kind of skill sets? Oh, I have 2 Audible credits? I guess I need to actually use those. I got 2 Audible credits. Maybe that's something we could do too. Listen to a book on stream instead of having me read it. That could be a thing. And in some ways, it might be better. If we're commenting on it, it's probably legal, is what I'm thinking. Then again, if I read it out loud, it might be just that much more demonstrably legal to read a book out loud as opposed to listen to a copyrighted audio book that people are making money off of that particular thing. So, that would be the dilemma.
All right, all right, all right. Let's see what we've got. Vex on the field.
I do like this mode, though.
Hey, you're gonna love this. The Vex have
And you can be an
consolidated their
invader? I didn't get to
subtypes.
try that
You
before.
must be kicking the crap out of it. Transmat ready. Let's hunt some hostiles, brother. Bring their moats to the bank. Incoming wave at the drill. Take and run popping up on the enemy side. Good. Hostiles inbound. Stick. Small blocker outbound. moats. Ice the blockers. Invader inbound. Hunt. High-value target identified. Get up. You just dropped a taken on the other side. Hope you're proud. I am.
What the heck? Get those moats. This is what happened to me last time. Shred documents. Totally, dude. Something about it.
Portals up. Allies headed to the other side. Yeah! High-value target eliminated. Your invaders down. They're coming back to you. Hostiles incoming at the base.
Whoa.
Invader inbound. Hunt. Portal's prime. Lock it. Get those moats to the bank. It's time for a prime evil. You're close. Bank. Summon that prime evil. Allies headed to the other side. Incoming wave at the drill.
You need to get these moats, bro. Oh, guys, get these moats. Get these moats over here.
Invaders gone.
Go.
Get 'em
Ah.
next time. Ally is down. Pulling them back. Opposing team's got a prime evil. Once it dies, they win. All right, you can still win this. Burn that prime evil to the ground. Convoys 8. Now devour that prime evil. Watch your back. Invader incoming.
Oh, okay. Interesting game, bro.
Your allies invading the other side. Your
Ugh.
allies down, but they took out 2 opponents. Nice. Convoys 8. Now devour that prime evil. The lead's yours. Invader on the field. Careful.
It's sniping. Yeah, I'd rather. Same here. Tickled rather than be tickled by a bear. Yeah.
Primeval compromised. Burn it down. Your allies invaded. You're in the lead. Take down that primeval, and this gambit's yours.
Three, two, one. Got it. Let's go.
Your invaders back with 3 kills. Yes. Invader incoming.
Oh, that Yumi guy keeps coming in. They got less. They got more than us down.
Invaders out. You'll get them next time. Your allies invading the other side. Opposing team's about to win. The enemy team's about to win this. Get moving.
They did.
Our boys taking a dirt nap. Primeval time. Fight's over. Opposing team killed their primeval.
Ooh. I'd definitely rather bear 100 tickles. Personally. I don't know what how do you quantify a tickle? Just a or is it just like 10 seconds of tickling is one tickle? Like that's the question. One, did you guys just not see me play 2? Fine. Oh, because I'm already doing it. That's why. Any amount of bears tickling sounds dangerous, no doubt. Is that how you think of life? Losty? And these dichotomies? These paradoxes of different verbal kind of like equations? Sure, why not? Tickle 100 bears or bear 100 tickles? Fifteen 2-year-olds and 2 15-year-olds. Depends on that situation. It's like you can just get away from the 2 15-year-olds. But you can't really fight back against the 2-year-olds. I don't know.
All right.
That one's a little
all right.
more down the middle for me.
Let's see what we've got. Scorn approaching.
I would punch a 15-year-old.
Be brave. Be notorious.
Oh, yay, once
Something
again.
about this system makes crazies crazier. The scorn. Transmat ready. Drop those targets, take the moats, and bank them.
Let's see how good this other team is this time. I would. I just picture 2-year-olds crawling all over you and you not being able to do anything about it because you can't hit kids. Oh.
Hostiles incoming at command.
Oh, there you go. Okay. No, I missed it. Why did I miss it?
Incoming hostiles at the rig.
It's a bunch of running back and forth. That's what this game is right now.
Moats draining. The blockers must die, brother. Invaders here. Brace yourself. Got eyes on a high-value target. Track it down.
Alright, let's get it going. Is it already red? What?
Invaders out. You'll get them next time. Hostiles incoming at command. Portals up. Go look them in the eyes. Yeah! High-value target eliminated. Allies headed to the other side. Your invader's dead. Sending them
Guys,
back.
there's moats back there. Go grab the moats.
Hey, you're losing moats. Ice the blockers.
Get those moats in the back. Do I have to do everything this time? Am I the head master over here?
Hostile incoming. Burrow. Watch your back. Invader incoming. Small blocker to the other side. Opposing team summoned a primeval. If they
What?
kill it, they win this. Invaders gone. Get them next time.
We gotta summon that primeval, boys! What's happening? Fine. It's gonna be my only job is to go get these moats now.
Oh, yeah! Look at those hostiles, bro. Hostiles incoming at command. Bank and you'll summon a primeval. You want to win?
Let's
That's
go.
how.
Let's bank it. We gotta get them primeval, boy.
Portal's up. Go look in the eyes. It's not over. Kill that primeval. Allies headed to the other side. Your invader is down. Pulling them back. They're being invaded. Find them before they find you. Envoy's taking a dirt next. Primeval time.
Ooh, they're sniping.
Allies headed to the other side. Your allies dead. Sending them back. Invader incoming.
Oh. Oh, they got this primeval. Oh, they're getting him. That's a good point. More vicious than dogs. This guy's going down.
Invaders off the field. Envoys eliminated. Focus on the primeval. Opposing team's about to win. The enemy team's about to win this. Get moving. I gotta call it. Enemy team melted their primeval.
They did good. Well, one more game. Ugh. Yeah, they just did good with lost. They lost a lot of moats. We lost a lot of moats. I was one of them. All right, one more. One more. I can get one of my last powerful gear by the end of the week. Until next Tuesday. So we'll see. Oh, they already started. I'm joining a game. I got 12 seconds to get this. Oh, that's just not going to happen. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. No! I couldn't even get it! No! Okay, fine.
Hey, you're losing moats. Ice the blockers. Half pint taken, headed to the other side. Incoming wave at the ruins. Portal is primed. Lock it. down. Hey, did you wake up pissed today or something? I
Get those
like
moats, guys.
hostiles at
Get
the
those moats.
trees.
Let's go. Can't believe I died. Healthcare is such a pain in the butt in the booty. I know. Healthcare, period, is a pain in the booty. Taxes are a pain in the booty.
You're being invaded. Find them before they find you.
You know, don't I have anything to deposit? No, I thought I did. Oh no, I died. Ugh. Look at all those moats, guys. I keep on getting them for them. I'm lowest on the scores. That's why.
Hostiles inbound at the beach. High value target neutralized. Hey, your team has enough to pull a primate. Portal's prime. Go make a mess. Your allies invading. Prime Evil's up.
Let's go, baby.
Envoys first. Invader incoming. Envoys eliminated. Focus on the Prime Evil.
Oh, I saw him too.
Allies back with
Dang
three
it.
Guardians down. Glad they're on your side.
Did you see that? Oh, that's lame.
Invaders out.
That's
You'll get 'em
lame.
next time.
Okay, back up, back up. He's back up.
Convoys 8. Now devour that Prime Evil.
There we go. There we go.
Convoys eliminated. Focus on the Prime Evil. You're being invaded. Find them before they find you. Enemy invader down. Hey, you can't blame them for trying. Your enemy called up a Prime Evil. Finish this before they... You gained the lead! That Prime Evil's not long for this world. Burn it down. Take this game. Yes, sir. That's what I call hunting.
Here we go. There we go. A bearded man, a computer, or eat 10 rotten eggs. Now we're going into... Now we're not even being fun with the language.
Fight till there's nothing left. I could use someone like you on my next...
There you go. Mordecus is like... A lot of bearded people on Twitch I'm seeing. Mordecus. Yeah, get Mordecus' computer so we can stream. Let's get Mordecus on stream. Ha! Yeah. He's like, nah, I like where I'm at, bruh. Don't. Let's just get Mordecus another contract, another job. How about that first? No one wants me to stream. It's not about what people want. Ooh, that looks cool. Let's see what that looks like. That's kind of cool. But I need the gold, man. It's got to go with the gold, bruh. That's why I did this. Copper and gold and silver. It's all together, yeah. And I even changed this to be kind of gold. I was blessed to make decent money in 2020, so I hopped on a computer quick. It's gold enough to match. YouTube videos, but talking to a camera is not really my cup of tea. Yeah. Yeah, I did acting and stuff, so I feel like comfortable just... But it also gets to be more... Yeah, when he rehearsed it, like if you've ever seen Dr. Heels do, you know, do kind of like, guys, I'm not going to be on chat for a little while. Just go ahead and sit there, talk amongst yourselves. I'll get a bot going, run some games. But I'm going to be doing YouTube stuff for a while. Then he's like, hey guys, welcome to my YouTube. Blah, blah, blah. And he does it like while on stream. That's a little weird. Not too, like, he's not weird for doing it, but it'd be weird for me to start out at least. I'm a stagehand. You're a techie. You're the techie. You're a techie. You could do podcast. Podcast is good. Or just jump in on some podcasts with streamers. It worked, right? I got it. What'd I get? What'd I get? Is this what I got? 43? 41? Yeah, okay, I guess that's probably it then. No? $50. I'm really not sure these are making much of a difference. I'm just gonna upgrade as much as I can. So my number is as high as it can be for these dang raids that I'm gonna be doing eventually. 43, no. Bye-bye. $44, $46, $45, $41. There just needs to be more to do besides what I have left to do. I don't want to do. Fault of Glass. I already ran that with... Yeah. Grasp of Avarice are these two. This one is one I've already tried. I'm basically done. For the week, at least. Legends? Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Yeah, Fault of Glass. No, that'd take too long to even try. We got stuff to do in the tower? We got stuff to do in the tower. Little tower. Tower action. So I watched the new Spider-Man again for the first time yesterday. For the second time again, first time yesterday.
There are tasks to be completed.
Yeah, it seems I liked it as much the second time. It wasn't as energetic because the first time was in a movie theater, people
Transaction to
yelling
make,
and screaming
Guardian?
when stuff was happening. Like when you see Andrew Garfield, you're like, "Oh my gosh!" Whoops, didn't mean to do that, but I did it again. Oops, I did it again.
I need a rest.
Speak to me, not
20-year-old
of the
IBM
darkness. I
laptop
want
still
my
turns on.
heart.
Wow. Oh, they're good, man. But you got to be up with like a lot of the stuff happening in the MCU. At least when it comes to in-game and all that stuff.
Done, done, done. Acknowledged.
All right, so what are we going to clear out now? 1543. That's crazy that it still works. That just shows you, though, how well things were made. Boom. Yeah, I call it a laptop. 15-pound laptop. That's kind of hurts the lap. It kind of defeats the whole purpose. Yeah, that's a good second one to have going. Well, I don't need those. Don't need that. I don't need that either.
Check. Thank you, thank you. Ready to check.
3386.
Let's check. You must have
Yeah, that
messages.
stability is high on this one. Invaders. What does this do?
Eververse isn't just a title. It's a promise.
That's a big jump.
to check?
Let's do
Let's
that.
check. You
And then
must
we'll
have
do
messages.
this. Boom. Wow, yeah. Okay, I do like that one. I have to keep that one around.
Eververse trades in goods we feel enhance a Guardian's journey.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yes.
One at a time, eh?
Sign, please.
Might as well collect some stuff while I'm here.
I am at your service.
I want to do 15. I want to wait. These are all going to be. Enhancement core, nice. 1548. That's gangsta. Again, I will buy more upgrade modules, I guess, is where that's going to go. $49. Ooh, okay. Just typed in drug testing in Google Maps and it took me to Auckland. What is that? Is that a crazy place that's pretty far away from you or something? Yeah, it's that turnabout.
Requisition approved.
I'm waiting for that because that'll go up with me. So if I can get the highest I can, or get 55 or something, then I will from him.
The Crucible beckons, Guardian. Will you answer?
Same thing with him there, but not here. In New Zealand. That is far away. Okay. Yeah, that's weird. Just a little. Half the world. You know, not a big deal. We'll put these in the vault. It's got the pulse. Turnabout. That's got turnabout. Okay. I'd say I saw a lot of these coming in. Reload speed, reload speed, reload speed. Okay.
Careful with that. I have an entire people to officiate Guardian. I saw that friend standing. We lost sight of it over the Pacific. I just want to know who's in charge.
What about it? What if he wasn't? It wasn't. Okay. I'm willing to go to New Zealand. Willing to go to New Zealand. Beautiful place, right? What's Eye of the Storm? More accurate, health lowers. Handling and health. It's a really great increased damage. Stacks 3 times. Oh, wow. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so I think we're in a good spot.
Goodbye. Hi.
Okay.
What you looking for?
Phone says, what? Sweet business. Auto rifle, sweet business. What? Large mag, increased hip fire accuracy. Okay. I love a good auto rifle. 150 rounds? Sustained firing, fire boost range and rate. Rounds cause extra damage to combatants, shield or over-penetrated rounds. Yeah. Yeah. Picking up special or heavy ammo immediately reloads the weapon. Oh, that's awesome. Sweet. Sweet business. Okay. All right, guys. Destiny. I'm at where I can be this week for Destiny. Where was this? 1554. Not a bad place to be.
But the traveler's on our side, right? So why would...
Okay.
Am I missing something here?
Am I missing something here? I'm going to do a little raiding. Speaking of Dr. Heals, he is on, but he's doing D&D. Just Zach's on Apex. The Dan is on Escape from Tarkov. Let's do a browse session real quick. I've never done this before raiding, but I've done it at night when I'm trying to follow new Christian streamers. Let's see who's all on, if anybody I don't know's on. Oh, Super Shadow's on. He's come in before. He's doing Destiny 2. Let's do some Super Shadows. Let's do it. Everybody, thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in. Enjoy the rest of your day. I don't know when I'll be on. Maybe tomorrow? Saturday's tomorrow? Likely I'll get on and do a little bit of something. But yeah, God bless. He's doing the raid right now, so we'll raid him.